Good morning.
Good afternoon.
Good night, and welcome to Jazzy Conversations. I'm Teef.
And I'm Gigi.
And we're excited to be here.
Listen, thanks for checking in.
Welcome to Jazzy Conversations. I'm Teef.
And I'm Gigi.
And G, we are back.
Hey.
You ready?
I'm ready, Teef.
I'm excited. We've been having some great episodes.
I will be honest. I love all of our episodes.
I love it.
I don't even have a favorite. I say everybody we bring on, they're just so interesting and new. So I love us.
I feel the exact same way. Every single person on our roster has been amazing.
Yeah.
And imagine the people that we have coming on.
Oh my goodness.
I'm anticipating them to be the exact same way.
Everybody. Y'all just keep tuning in. Everybody is so amazing.
Yeah. So, what'd you do today?
Oh, today, let's see. I chilled out a little bit today. Well, it's Sunday. So you know, after that, but just really, I go and get my I'm gonna go ahead and do it for you.
Come on. Can't nobody do me like Jesus.
I go out. That's without fail. But other than that, just chilled out a little bit. How about you?
Today I just relaxed. Same thing. Again, what do you think I did today? My Yukon
lady Huskies.
We sit right there and watch the game, and she crazier than me. She jump up. That's foul. You know how women are, so she went crazy. But listen, before we begin, I'm excited about today's guest.
All right, so am I.
This is a hit TV show.
This is big and one of my childhood favorites.
Listen, when we were in high school going into college, this is what was on, and we all used to watch this show.
Yeah.
So that's why, ladies and gentlemen, I have a great game that Gigi's not ready for today.
I'm never ready, y'all.
I was loving it. I'm gonna play a game with you.
Okay.
All right, this is what we're gonna do today. You ready?
I'm ready, Teef. Let's go.
All right, here we go. Check this game out. So what I'm gonna do is I want you to tell me. I'm gonna play a little music.
Okay.
And we're gonna go back to high school years.
Okay.
Some of them junior high, but tell me the theme song to the song I play.
Okay. These are TV shows?
TV shows.
Oh, all day.
Here we go.
I can do this all day.
All right. Here's the first one.
Okay. The best is ready to begin. We got each other. Oh my gosh, what's this song? I know the song.
So what TV show is that? And don't you guys cheat. Tell me what TV show was that? You got 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3.
Is it Growing Pains?
2. No, you gotta
give it a bump. I tried to get 2 seconds.
all right. She got it. All right, here we go.
That's I'm a TV watcher. All right, what's up?
Here's the next one.
All right, focused. Stand for this song. That's it. Come on. But you can just let it rock if you want.
Everybody loves this one.
That's stand for this song. That's a favorite. That's a favorite.
All right. She got 2.
Yes.
She's 2-0.
Come on. I'm pulling up. Let's
Paige
go.
Beckers, baby.
Nothing but net. Nothing but net. What we got?
All right. I'm going to get her with this one. I'm going to stomp you guys with this one. You ready? Here we go. Check this one out.
It's a cop show. Nope. Wait. Oh my gosh.
Chief, you are so good.
Nope. Don't wait.
5, 4.
Can you just tell me the first letter of the show?
3,
please.
2.
Come on, the first letter of
1.
the show.
She's 2-1. Ladies and gentlemen, that was my TV show.
Heat of the Night?
Matlock.
Matlock!
Oh, you said it?
Oh, our producer's in the back.
She's
you should have given me the sign.
And 1. Here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, I know you guys know this one.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Laverne and Shirley. Incorporated.
Yeah, you're singing. Come on, keep singing it, guys.
We're gonna make our dreams come true.
Classic. She's 3-1.
Okay.
All right. I'm gonna give you one more, and then I'm gonna give you the grand finale.
Okay. I'm ready. I feel like there's a cash prize at the end of this, but let's see. Different strokes. I was watching it last night. May not be right for some, a man is born. Yes, of course. I know this one.
This is. See, you having a good time?
We can go all night. I love these. I'm mad I missed one.
Now listen. My last one. If she gets this one, she won the game.
Cash prize, y'all.
But if she gets this one wrong, she has to leave. All right? Ladies and gentlemen, here we go.
I'm not
scared. You guys are ready.
I'm not scared. Let's go.
1 second.
Let's see what we got. Watch what you do. You know what this is, and we got a host coming up for you. This is Wonder Years. This was my cut too.
Dan, this is for you, Dan.
This is for you, Dan. That's the giveaway. We got a great host coming up. Great guest. Woo! Tell me y'all didn't watch this show. I know y'all were watching.
Hey, Dan, we bringing you back to the 80s, baby.
That's funny because the show was bringing it back to the 60s. So
exactly, right?
The 70s, yeah.
The show aired from 88 to 93.
Wow, that was a good long run.
Was that fun?
That was fun.
You enjoyed it?
You've always got so much fun for me. I love it.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's get this going. I hope you guys are ready.
Yes.
You ready? Here we go. Welcome to Jazzy Conversations. I'm Teef.
And I'm Gigi.
And today we have an amazing guest, our friend, Dan Lauria.
Yes, good. Dan, welcome.
Welcome to the show. We're very excited to have you.
Oh, thanks for having me.
Are you excited to be here?
Oh, yeah. I told you I went to, I'm from Long Island, but I went to Southern Connecticut and the University of Connecticut. So it's like coming home.
It's his home. Well, welcome back.
And we're gonna get right into that. That's the exciting part. So we're just gonna go through the process because exactly what you just said. Some people do not know that you actually was in Connecticut, in New Haven for some time and did school. So we're just going to go through the process from the beginning, if you don't mind.
Yeah.
Sounds good?
You'd like.
All right. So
I'll tell you anything you want except Winnie Cooper's phone number.
Winnie Cooper.
Okay. So here we go. Tell us your background. Where you from? Siblings? Anything like that from the back?
I grew up in Long Island. I had one brother who passed away. He was younger, but he
God bless.
Passed away. Whenever they have these things, celebrities talk about their backgrounds and there's drugs and there's terrible parents. Then they get to me and it's so boring. My parents were the nicest people in the world.
Oh,
I didn't even know they were poor till I went to college. So
that's great to hear.
I had a great, grew up on Long Island. It was just played sports, had a great time. I was as dumb as a stone in high school. I only got to college because of football, and I actually failed out, but the football coach got me in on probation. And for the first time in my life, I read.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
And I did okay the next semester, and then I was always on the dean's list, and I'm a voracious reader. I can't seem to get enough.
Wow. And comeback kid.
Thank God for audiobooks. I'm never driving without audio.
And so that college that you went to, because we're located, I know this is worldwide, that college you went to is in New Haven, Connecticut, correct? What's the name of it?
It was, when I went, it was Southern Connecticut State College. Now it's Southern Connecticut State University.
Yes, it
Yes,
is. Yes, it
yes.
is.
So I always tell everybody I went to USC.
USC.
How did you find your way
And
to
graduate
Southern?
School, I went to University of Connecticut.
Okay, so you stayed in Connecticut after leaving. How did you find Southern? How was that? How did that become your school of choice?
Well, I had a football scholarship to Western Kentucky, and I hurt my knee. And at that time, you had a red shirt, and I really didn't have enough money. And a couple of guys I went to high school with had gone to Southern.
Okay.
Probably, well, a few others, but they went there to play baseball, and they said, "Oh, you got to come here. They got a good football team."
Nice.
So they introduced me, and I snuck in the back door, all that stuff.
Okay. Okay. Now, did you enjoy your time at Southern?
Oh, are you kidding? So, you could go back in the I went there from 66 to 70, and we were always in the top 5 party schools.
Yeah, he enjoyed himself.
Now, is that a recommendation for a school?
That is actually.
But I love Southern.
Wow, that is great.
Now, have you seen the campus lately? Because it's amazing, right, G?
Yeah,
I mean,
it's beautiful.
Yeah, I was the guest speaker at their 100th year graduating class.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Mike Dante, who was actually my linebacker coach, was a great president there for 20 years. Unfortunately, he was killed in a motorcycle accident while visiting. He and his wife and another couple went to Italy.
Oh, wow. God bless.
Yeah,
Wow.
but that was great. He had me come and do the 100th year graduating class.
Okay.
So you've been back.
Now, one thing I do know, and I've learned, Southern played a huge part in your acting career. So it transitioned from football to acting.
Yeah, Constance Welsh, who was the woman who started the Yale Dramat. Okay. She had left Yale and came over to Southern because she wanted to stay in the area.
Okay.
And she was walking past a football practice. It was actually before practice. She heard me telling a joke, and she tapped me on the shoulder pads with her cane and said, "Would you like to be in a play?" I said, I always wanted to try that. I love old movies. And she said, "I know." And I said, "How would you know?" And she said, "Because I'm the greatest acting teacher in the world. And I heard you told that horrible joke."
And that started your career.
To play Taliban in the Tempest.
Isn't that amazing?
I think it's absolutely amazing. I'm reading a book. Speaking of audiobooks, I'm reading a book, Viola Davis's book, actually. And she talks about how the great actors, you're just lucky. There's so many people that are talented, but it's about being in the right place at the right time. Talent, yes, but being in the right place at the right time, because so many people have the same talent, but you got discovered on a football field, telling a joke. I mean, how serendipitous. That's beautiful.
Yeah, and it's Viola's right. Talent does have something to do with it. Actually, I feel sorry for the younger people that are getting into business because talent means less and less.
Wow.
Because technology.
Wow.
Nobody ever asked me for a reel or a disc or a screen. I didn't have to do self-tapes. You went in a room. All I had to learn how to do was act. And I had those people in my life who helped, again, by accident. Constance Wells, of course, and as far as writing, Dr. Cecil Hinkle at the University of Connecticut, where my major was playwriting. And then when I got into business, Charles Durning was, my dad. You saw everything I ever did from my first thing until the day he died, and then later on, Jack Klugman. They were there. It was never discussions about good or bad.
Okay.
Jack Klugman always said, "We're always good. That's not what it's about." It was always why that choice, why we did this, why the emphasis on good actors always have different phrasing. Charles Durning and George C. Scott were great friends.
Okay.
So you've got
Charlie
a rich
would always say, "George is the only man who can put 2 syllables in the word God." He never says God. He says God.
I know some people like that. You do too.
Yes, I do.
Yes, you do.
Viola's that way. I mean, you watch her work. She says things, the most mundane, common, ordinary sentence, and yet there's that eloquence in the massaging of the verbs, and it's just, and it becomes natural the more you work on it, and that's what makes her so special.
She's amazing. We actually just saw her in The Woman King, which is amazing, amazing TV show, movie. Excuse me. So Dan, you graduate from Southern. What's the next step once you graduate?
I was in the Marine Corps for 3 years.
Okay,
I saw that.
Okay, wow. Okay.
Semper Fi.
Yeah, absolutely. That's right. No acting, but then you come home from the Marine Corps, and do you move back to New York or do you move to LA?
I went back to Long Island, to my hometown. I coached football for a year, and then I got a grant for playwriting at the University of Connecticut.
Oh, okay.
I was going to ask that. I did hear you say that the playwriting was your major, so you've done significant writing and developing in that area.
I had a play up off Broadway about 5 years ago, Dinner with the Boys, and I have a new play this year, which I hope you'll come to. We're going to be doing it in Barrington stages.
We're going to talk about that at the end.
Yes.
Open dialogue. We're going to go into that. So
I always wrote,
Yeah, I know.
I can't spell, but I write, And
you have that Just Another Day. But so before the playwriting, I want to try to lead up until the call comes for the Wonder Years. But what was the process right after coaching football? When was your first acting gig? What did that look like?
Well, after I came out of the University of Connecticut, I went into New York, and I was a veteran, and I met Charles Durning, who was a very highly decorated World War II vet, and I got him involved with a group we would call VetGo. Back then, we all had groups. People. I get very upset with the PC movement when they just ignore our history. I mean, I don't know if you've ever heard of the Negro Ensemble. They did a play called Soul Story.
Yes.
I was the first one, or Jim Pickens is still a great friend of mine, Tom Wright, all the people in it. We had VetGo. We were all Vietnam vets. We had the Gay Alliance, which they had a policy where all the straight characters had to be played by straight actors and all the gay actors had to be played by gay actors. We had Puerto Rican Traveling Circus. We had so many groups, a Pan-Asian group. And it's like you talk to these young people, it's like we never existed. Whoa, what's a break here, pal? I was 67. I was in North Carolina marching with Reverend Abernathy. Where the hell were you? Don't give me this crap.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of forgetting history.
And I'll tell you one thing: we didn't try to defeat prejudice by being more prejudiced. Try to get a play read, regardless of what nationality, what your religious preference is, if you're 75 years old. You want to talk about real prejudice?
Ageism.
To age. Wow. I mean, David Saint, who I love, who runs the George Street Playhouse, he wouldn't even read my play. He even said, Dan, even if you were gay, I could not read your play. I'm not going to get any grants for producing a play by a 75-year-old writer.
Wow.
That
is tremendous. So, and that is today. That's now. That's how it is right now.
Correct.
Yeah, but earn it. We were up there making lights out of coffee cans and the old things, and we went out and raised money. And God, the VetGo company, I don't even think I can tell you how we raised money. It was probably illegal, We'd find vets who worked at companies, and we'd go, we'd send letters, nobody would answer. So we'd go in there, sneak in the building, grab them in the bathroom, say, come on, you old Marine, get us some money, get us something. And they did.
Wow. I think you raise an incredible point about the older generation really connecting the history for the younger generation. As I think otherwise we get young people trying to do some of the things that we did as though they're doing it for the first time. But there's an importance of saying, this is what we did. This is what we did well. And here's what we'd like. Here's what we'd like you to pass the baton. So there's a responsibility to pass the baton so that we don't see some of the same stuff over and over again, which we do. We do.
Yeah, Gigi, at least they could learn that we did fight the same fights.
Yeah.
I'm not denying that we should do more for younger writers of different, but don't just wipe us away.
Right, correct.
The things happen. You weren't sitting on your hands. You were in the struggle. I agree. Acknowledge what came before. You're right.
Legend.
You're
Legend.
Right. Mm-hmm.
So Dan, the phone call, how does that, the Wonder Years, how does that look? How did that happen? Now, it was 88 to 93, which is for Gigi and I, those were amazing years. We had just entered high school in 88.
Right. That's right.
So
I thought you were even younger than that. So
thank you.
Yeah. Well, I thought Gigi was younger.
Oh, come on. You know what? All right.
I'll take it.
No, I did so many plays in New York and never got to Broadway, but was in a couple of really good plays. There was a play called Vespers Eve by Louis LaRusso. One night in the audience, Jose Ferrer was there, and just all these great actors and directors. And but my agent said, you can't just stay here doing off Broadway. It doesn't matter how many, OBs and all that stuff. You got to go to LA. And I actually went to LA which everybody said was the wrong time. I had a very nice agent, not big, but got me in. And I just did for a year and a half. I did guest spots. You get 2 or 3 a year, you're lucky. I did 11.
Wow.
First year here. And one of them was on Growing Pains.
Oh.
And the second one, I did another Growing Pains. And the people who wrote that, Neil Marlins and Carol Black, they wrote The Wonder Years.
Okay.
And I was actually going out with Joanna Kearns, who's still one of our, she was a great actress, but she's now one of our leading women directors on television.
Yes.
And The Wonder Years came up and she said, did you get in for it? And I said, nah, I don't have a big agent. It's hard to get in those things. So she literally called Neil. And she called and said, Neil said you're perfect for it. And he set it up. Go to the audition. So I went with 9 million other people. And the network didn't want me. They wanted a name. But Neil and Carol, who created it, insisted that it looked like everybody else's neighbors. Not, matter of fact, Allie had a series but luckily it only went 6 episodes. But that almost stopped her from getting it.
Oh, wow.
They would get Gould for my part, the network. Well, and Elliot's a friend. And he always said, yeah, they told me they went with some unknown,
I'll tell you, it was one of my favorite shows. I absolutely loved it. And I cannot even conceive of the show without you. Like, I don't know what that would. Yeah. No, I mean, you were the dad of that show. And you are that character to me. I cannot picture another person being in that kitchen or, yell. You were the person. So I'm so glad that they made that choice.
Gigi, it's always the writing. We had great writing. And our head writer, Bob Brush, who Neil and Carol were there for the first 18 shows. But even Fred will tell you the real star of The Wonder Years was Bob Brush. He wrote. We did 130 shows.
Wow.
You want to get pissed off. We were 27 out of 166 shows, and we were canceled. We were supposed to do it here. And it was all because, and I don't care if he hears it, it was all because of the man who owned Revlon, Ronald Perlman. And I'm going to tell you, if he and I are ever in a room together, only one of us. Don't bet on him.
No, you were a football player. We know that.
Yeah.
I got a quick trivia question for Gigi. What was his character's name on The Wonder Years?
Dad.
It was Jack Ryan.
Oh, it was
right?
Yeah.
Jack Ryan?
Jack Arnold.
Jack Arnold. I even got it wrong.
Yeah, look at you. You're always trying to catch me out there. You were Dad. That was the name of your character.
That's right. And you were one of Gigi's favorite characters on the show.
I just love him because he was such a. I mean, I get it. It's the writing, but you had to deliver, right? And there was that soft spot inside, but you were like this tough guy that the kids don't know. Should I ask? Shouldn't I ask? How's dad gonna react? I just related to that. Yeah.
Yeah, but there was always that sense that regardless of how hard he was, he would do anything for his family.
It was there, right? You see, and you delivered that. Yes.
And everyone loved
Winnie Cooper.
Gigi. She is such a fascinating person. She's got 5 math books out. She's inducted into the International University of Mathematicians. She's a genius.
Wow, look at
Matter of
that.
fact, I get a little worried when I can understand what she's talking about.
I'm sitting here and watch my eyes.
I knew that was coming.
It's been that, like you said, I played ball too, and you always got one next to you. Sometimes we having our meetings and she's talking and I'm like this. Right. Yeah. She started going deep on me. I go, right. Okay.
I'm not a math genius though. I'll tell you that.
She's been that way for a long time since we were kids, Dan. Dan, I'm sorry. So after the show, or we could talk about the show, but after the show, I noticed that he was in Independence Day.
Yes, I saw that.
Yeah, Independence Day.
Yeah, I never had a big agent, so I don't have many films. A couple of good ones.
Great ones.
Takeout, Independence Day, a few good ones. A number of good TV movie of the week. They don't do much of those anymore.
I know, which is so sad.
Yeah, because it was a good way to
rally everybody around a topic or a show. Yeah, everybody got to see it that night.
Mm-hmm. And the topics of the movie of the week were usually current and relevant. And so I did one, David, with Bernadette Peters and John Glover. It was a frightening, realistic movie about a horrible event. And boy, it got nominated for everything. And I kind of miss those social issue 2-hour slam it in your face and what do you think kind of movie.
Right.
But we don't have much of them anymore. But I did so much television and I never went a year without doing a play. So if I ever did, Charles Durning would kill me.
What do you prefer? Is it film acting or stage acting? Which do you enjoy more?
I think that's an oxymoron, film acting. Film acting is filling an editing machine. Acting is when the stage goes up and you create a character for 2 hours. And there's no editor,
that's it.
Listen to it. I mean, I heard Aretha Franklin sing in a little room, 60 people. Nothing ever. Roberta Flack, I heard at Mr. Peters in Washington, D.C.
Wow. Oh, my goodness.
I mean, that's talent.
Yeah.
You get on stage with a lot of pyrotechnics and some guys on a machine. I became friends with Frank Sinatra through the Frank Sinatra golf tournament. We actually heard his last live performance. And he would talk about a microphone. He said, anything that helps the people hear me, I'm for. Anything that alters me, I'm against. Because it denies my talent,
Wow.
So television it's a discipline. You can do the same thing over and over again and keep it up. You got to remember where you are. You got to remember what you've learned from great teachers like Charles Durning and Miss Welsh. I'll tell you the best acting class I ever had. She gave us a monologue. All the boys had the same monologue. And I say boys because we were in college and we were boys. And it was the worst monologue I ever read. It had every cliche you could think of. Nothing looks as dead as the dead. Did you ever walk through the world in another man's shoes?
All the cliches.
It was just horrible, G. I got about 2 lines out, and she always had this cane. She banged the cane. Mr. Lauria, please sit down. You're embarrassing yourself. And then when we were all finished, this wasn't the days where you had CDs and DVDs. She had an old film projector with one of those cans.
Old school.
Yeah, and she opened up these curtains. There was a screen, and she showed Tyrone Power doing the same exact words. Mm-hmm. And he was great. And she looked at us and she said, the difference is Mr. Power is an actor, and you all became critics.
Wow.
And I'll tell you, when you get a job, I was 2 years on the soap opera. That's where I met Judith. I had One Life to Live.
Oh, okay.
I was a pimp.
He was a pimp. He sounds a hell of a pimp.
It was the worst dialogue in the world, but every day I went to work, I thought about Tyrone Power doing those lines.
Wow.
So breathing life, that's the role of the actor. You breathe life. You make that thing come alive.
Right. And when you're doing television and movies, especially the way they do it now, the equipment is lighter, it's more efficient. We're taking twice as long. We're covering it 9,000 ways. You know, after the sixth time of going through the same dialogue, I still think of Tyrone Power doing those words.
So what would you tell someone starting out their acting career? Because you talk to everyone at Southern and different colleges. What's your advice to them?
I would the same advice that Charles Durning gave me. I mean, if you listen to me, you'll probably never work again, but you will be a better actor. Okay. And Charles always had me watch old movies. I do a lecture at colleges. I show 2 minutes of Argo and I go, cut, cut. Well, they understand what a cut is. Then I yell out the next time 2 characters are in the same frame and they're talking. And Ben Affleck sees Bryan Cranston, who you cannot be a better actor than Bryan
Cranston is amazing. He is. I agree.
Yeah, and Ben Affleck's a little better actor than he even gives himself credit for, I think.
I love Ben Affleck. Love him.
But 27 seconds later, they will yell, cut. And I say, you've just seen the longest take in this movie. And it won Best Picture. Then I show Cary Grant and Rosalind Russell going around a desk. And I say, yell cut. 5 minutes and 40 seconds, they usually applaud.
Beautiful.
Now, everybody has to be good, not just Cary Grant and Rosalind Russell. There is no, they used to have camera focusers, remember? The focus, there's no shadow, boom shadow from the mic. The dolly grip is moving it perfectly along. Everybody has to be good. As soon as I cut from your head to my head, nobody has to be good.
Yeah.
Chemistry between actors is what happens between us. As soon as I cut from your head to my head, you've cut the chemistry.
Absolutely.
So these young people, I'm glad I'm old.
Yeah. You came up at the right time. Came up at the right time in this industry.
So you had a lot of success, and most people know you as the father from the Wonder Years. But we want to know, what's a myth of your success, your fame? What would you say is a huge myth? When people think of you, Dan Lauria, they think what? What's a myth about it?
Well, I think to really know me as an actor, you would have to know my stage work and have to know the influence of people like Charles Durning and Jack Klugman. And we would go to dinner all the time. You guys would have loved this. I wish you could have brought the. It would be Jack, Charlie Durning, Peter Falk, and Dom DeLuise, and me. And sometimes
you can stop right there. To be a fly on the wall. That's a great group.
Wow. So this is open.
Let me tell you.
Okay.
I'll give you a great story. Give you a great story. Like Jack always said, where one night I came off stage, I said, we were good tonight. And he went, we're always good. That's not what it's about. And Charles Durning, who saw everything I ever did, whenever he would see me in a show, he'd put his arm around my shoulder and say, another 20 years, you'll be an actor. And I'd say, okay, Charlie, keep working on it. So I did a great play with Jack Klugman called The Value of Names about the House Un-American Activities Committee. And we had Monday and Tuesday off. And Sunday, Peter Falk, Charles Durning, and Dom DeLuise were in the audience. And Jack Klugman comes running in and he goes, all right, Dan, now we do it for us. Don't do it for them. Don't get caught up. And I said, Jack, you told us we were always good. What are you going to do? Shave my head and send me back to Nam? Come on. No, he goes, you're right. Help us. Yeah. So we went out, we had one of those, like Jack said, we're always good, but there's those magic performances. I don't know.
Yeah.
But while we're bowing, we had one of those. While we're bowing, Jack says, we got to get the boys together, find out what the hell we did right tonight.
Thought we were always good.
Tuesday night, we go to dinner. And it was great stories about those magic nights. And Charlie, very emotionally, puts his arm around me and says, all right, another 10 years, you'll be an actor.
You'll be like 10 years.
Shave 90 years off.
Yeah. So, for me, it's like the greatest compliment in the world.
Yes.
But the great Jack Klugman looks at Charles Durning and says, Charlie, are you an actor yet? And Charles Durning goes, Jack, I'm getting damn close. Peter Falk reached over and said, I think you're there, Charlie.
What an amazing group to be sitting together.
Oh my goodness.
Those sounds like lines in a play that you should write.
Right, but their attitudes about the nature of the art, which is what we're losing. I did 8 Cagney and Lacey's, 6 of them was mainly me and Tyne. And especially when Jackie Cooper directed, I can't remember him covering any of the scenes. So he'd always go, oh, here's my 2 horses. Let's go. We rehearse it and he go, all right, let me work with a camera guy. We rehearse again and he go, let's shoot it. How you feel? Good? Let's go home.
Let's go.
Today, he would get fired for that. Back then, he got patted on the back for finishing in time.
Wow. So now it's about the cutting and the editing more so than the acting and the intimacy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's very different.
Self-tape things, young people like them because they're very technically proficient and they understand I was worried about hanging the light here, but I can't tell you when I started how many times we went in a room and auditioned and there was the writer there, the director, one of the producers. And even if you didn't get the job, a couple of months later, they called you and they hired you and said, oh, we loved your last audition. You were just too ugly, but now we got a good part. The young kids are never going to experience it. They're a talking head in front of a gray background or a black background. They have no chance to take over the room. And
wow.
Pat Buckle still talks about, I had an audition where I was playing a gangster and I'm yelling and the phone rang. Her phone actually rang. And I picked it up and I went,
I get to incorporate it.
I got that job. I don't know who called, but I owe him one.
This has been an amazing interview. Did you love it?
Oh, this is fantastic.
Great. And really Dan, we're so happy to have you. Now,
love it. This is what it's all about.
This is your time right here. This is open dialogue. We want you to tell us what's going on. Talk about your play that you would like us to attend.
I have a play, Just Another Day. I read it with Jody Long, who is played my wife on Sullivan and Son, and she's the president of SAG Hollywood. Wow. And we read it twice, and Elliot Mazie, a Broadway producer, saw us read it at my friend Eric Krebs's theater, who is also a producer. And we taped it. I'll send it to you. We did a video of it. And the Barrington Public Theater and Shadowland stages. Barrington is just over the border of Connecticut. I hope you come see it. That'll be end of July, August.
Yes.
And Shadowland will be June 2nd to June 18th. And if it goes well and reviews are good, they want to move it into New York.
Fantastic.
And we may be doing it not off book as a reading for the National Alzheimer's Foundation in Washington, D.C.
Oh, wow. God bless. God bless.
Too old. I can't run around a lot anymore because I'm 76. So I wrote plays with 2 old people sit on a bench. But they're 2 old comedy writers They may or may not have been a team. They have dementia. They don't remember the day before, but each day they meet on a bench, they write comedy, and they fall in love.
Oh, wow. Beautiful. Beautiful.
Oh, I'm looking forward to it. Yeah.
And it's made to be done interracially, because it doesn't matter. Like I play a character once. I write a routine about God's special effects man. Now, when I do it, his name is Vito Belducci, but when Jim Pickens doing it, he's doing it as Sammy Jackson.
Sammy Jackson.
we all do a stereotype of what we are. I'm Italian, gangster. He's doing, but we're God's special effects man.
Okay. This sounds. I'm looking forward. Please tell the people the title of the play again.
Just Another Day, and I hope to do one of the productions with Jody, but we're asking one of my favorites, Sapatha Murkison, if she'll do it. If she's free. I don't know if you've ever seen her on stage, but she's wonderful.
No, we're excited. We're excited. Now, here's the big question. We spoke about this, but I just want to make sure you do listen to podcasts, and you have a few favorite podcasts. So Gigi has 3 important questions to ask you.
This is one of my most important roles here. What are your top 3 podcasts, Stan?
You mean other than you?
There you go.
Well, there you go. All right, we've got the answer we're looking for.
How many podcasts have had me on their show? You're right.
We appreciate you.
All right.
I like Rachel Maddows.
Yes.
Yep. She's sharp.
I don't know if you've ever heard You Must Remember This. It's about the history of Hollywood.
Oh, sounds good. That sounds right up your alley.
Yeah. And then, for third, I wouldn't pick a third because there's so many that I'll go on and that I enjoy, and they're all in there. But those are my top 2.
I just want to reiterate for the audience that the top choice was Jazzy Conversations with Tiff and Gigi. I just want to reiterate that.
Listen, we truly, on behalf of Jazzy Conversations, we truly appreciate you. I'm Tiff.
And I'm Gigi.
Dan, thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Dan.
Have a great night. Have a great night. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much for having me.
We appreciate you. Take care. Have a good night. Oh, gee.
Dan,
that was another.
Dan was
you had
amazing.
Some great questions.
Well, listen, I love the show. There are so many other things actually that we didn't get to. I would have loved to have heard more about his time as a Marine. All right. And also he has this amazing movie that came out. We didn't get to talk about Shot Through the Wall. So maybe we can get him back. We gotta have him back to talk about his career. But what a nice guy.
He's a nice guy. Gigi Winings. I mean,
look, you always gonna try me, huh?
We had a lot of fun. That was amazing.
Yeah.
And next week we're excited again. We have another amazing guest.
We always do.
I'm having a lot of fun.
I'm enjoying myself too.
And we're gonna get together this week to just
kick it. We do that. We just getting together, just kicking it. Yeah.
Listen, on behalf of Jazzy Conversations, thank you guys for tuning in.
I'm
Tiff.
And I'm Gigi.
Have a great night. Take care.